Alright, well, welcome back. This is part 2 of the double rolled cuff short socks, toe up. We'll be finishing them in this video. So I have made it to where I'm ready to start the heel. I've knit my foot length as long as I want it. And now we're going to start the German short row heel, and that requires changing color again. We're going to change back to our contrasting color. But we will not be cutting our main color. We're just going to leave it off to the side, like the back side of your loom, the one that's not going to be used for the heel, just so it stays out of the way. Because we're not working in rounds now. So it's worked just like the toe, but unlike how we did the toe, we're not, when we increase back out, we're not increasing all the way out to the first and last marked pegs. So I'll show you what we'll do when we get there. But now we're going to start using the new color. I did have my, oops, I had it propped up. I need to, my little table thing. Prop it up again. Sorry for this noise. Should be quick. And this is the part, this is the video where you're going to be using your, your locking stitch markers. Okay. Taking our contrasting color and starting peg one, again, leave a tail for weaving in. Let's just start knitting. Like we did when we changed color last time, and then knit a few stitches just to get it kind of secure where it doesn't want to easily pull out. Okay, now I'm going to take my tail and then my main color that is not cut and just tie a half knot and then move those out of the way. So again, just like in the first video, knit across to your last heel marker. Get under that. Now pull it back. Pull the slack and knit back the other way. All the way back to your first peg. Back at peg 1. Oh, let me tighten that up again, it got loose. Pull the other direction. Pull your slack. Head back the way you were. and back and forth, just like the toe, all the way into your inner marked pegs. Yeah, until all of the sections have the double, look like double loops, and I'll see you back there. All right, so coming up in the last two decreases. Remember that you don't pull slack after these ones, after the last two marked ones. You don't pull slack on those. So we'll knit back across. Oops, sorry if you heard a loud noise. Okay, final decrease. Now for the increases, and if you remember from the toe, the first couple are tough. Okay, we're at this first one, and again, gentle but firm. Just kind of work it, holding your working yarn taut so you don't pull it off with the stitch. This one's really tough. Got it. Then around back, you know, it's behind the stitch, bring it around the front of the next one, go in the other direction. Knit across to your next mark peg. Okay, let's do this again. Gentle but firm. There. Okay. Keep going back and forth, knitting out until you have the double loops left on the first peg and the last one of your heel section. Leave those when there's still two on there, the double loops on both of those, and I will be back then. Okay, so we've increased back out to where we just have the two loop on the last peg and the first, but we're right here at the second peg. We just knit off the second peg because that was our last double loop that we're knitting off on our increases, and we're going to knit back the other way like we're going to go to that last peg and knit it, but we're going to stop right there. Oh, train. Once you knit it, I'll see you there. Okay, so we're knitting that last one. Oh no. Well, don't do that. Hold on, I gotta get this back on. All right, I think I fixed it. Oh, I didn't. Okay, I think I have it fixed now. So, knit it off. Now we're gonna, oh, I put my tool in my mouth. We're gonna cut the yarn. Leave a tail. Make sure you only cut your contrast color. Now go back, leave it where it's at. Go back around with, let's tighten that up again, When you go to weave in, you can also pull that that tight. Now we take our main color that's still attached and ready to go at peg 1, and you're going to start counting again. We're going to be counting off 10 rounds, and this is starting round 1. So with our main color, that first peg that still has the double loops, we're knitting off. And then knit across to the peg, to your last marked peg, the one that we just knit with our contrast color, and stop there. Okay, so now it's time to knit that peg. There's going to be no resistance because you've cut the yarn. But stop there and tie a half knot with your working yarn and that tail, and then just tuck the tail down into your sock. That's what I did with the other one too. All your tails, just tuck them into your sock because you'll take care of them at the end. All right, we are done with the heel, and just continue this around back to your starting peg, and then go around again, round 2, all the way till you have 10 rounds worked, and you are back when 10 rounds worked, and you've knit your last peg of the round. I will see you back then. All right, now that all 10 rounds of the leg are done, we need to use our locking stitch markers. So I'm going to use, excuse me, a different one, a different color for the first one. I'm going to use my Loom tool to pull the loop away so I can just get up under it easily. Excuse me. So just do one for every stitch around your loom. And then come back when you're done. Okay, I've got all the markers on the stitches. I'm using a gold one for my first stitch, so I know where it goes. And now we're just going to knit 10 more rounds. This is the cuff section, the first cuff. Just use the markers to pull this stitch over. And do it around. This is going to be like messy. Your stitches or your markers are going to be messy inside the sock. Just something you deal with to do this. Okay, so come back after you have knit all 10 rounds of your cuff. This is round 1 that you're on right now. I've got all 10 rounds of my first cuff done. So my messy stitch markers are inside holding onto the stitches they need to hold. And now it's time to bind off this cuff. So take your yarn, wrap it around the loom 3 times. and then cut it. Right, we are done with the main color now. You might hear like shuffling, crunching sounds in the background. I just had to feed all my cats, so, and there's a bunch of them eating in different areas around. So, okay, we're gonna do the stretchy bind off. I'm gonna get in close for that. Thread your tapestry needle. Oh, I don't know if that showed up. Okay, well, I'm not getting it now. There you go. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I am assuming you probably know how to do that already. Okay, so for the stretchy bind off, we're going to take our yarn, go past the first peg. I'm going to cross the first peg to the second and go under with your needle. Go under the stitch. I'm so sorry if you didn't see that. Pull up, then come back down to the first stitch that now has 2 loops. Go down between, or go down underneath both of them. Okay. I think I will use the Loom tool to lift that, just so I'm not fighting to pick them up. Sorry, I'm trying to get my table at an angle here. So we want to come from above. Come on, get there. With your yarn needle. Okay. They shouldn't all be like that. Maybe yours won't be like that at all. Uh-oh. I didn't want to go through that. I'm not trying to make a knot there, so I definitely want to get my yarn out of that. There. Okay. So now it's like every second one. So now I go past the second stitch to the third and go from the bottom up. You know what? I'm gonna switch to the bent tip needle, because I just don't want to fight this the whole time. It's bigger, but that's okay. Okay. So I'm coming into and underneath the bottom, and pull your yarn all the way, and then from above, no, not the first stitch, sorry, the one beside it, the one before that you skipped. from the bottom, now from the top. Up from the bottom. So you skip the single, go to the one beside it, up from the bottom. It'll make it look like 2 loops on the one you skipped. Go from the top down. And let's keep doing that all the way around. Bottom. That bent needle really is working better for me. Okay, do that all around. I'll see you when you're back. Well, when you've come back around to the first peg. Okay, so I'm back to the beginning. I'm going to do this last one by going back into the first one. And then why is it giving me trouble? There we go. But then I want to repeat it a couple more times. In the same through the same 2 stitches. And the last one. Okay. Now it's time to take it off. I can cut this tail shorter too. It's whatever, it's long. Leave a good amount to weave in, but you don't need it really super long. Now let's take it off the loom. So we have to remove it and then rehang it from those stitches that are being held by the markers. And then we'll work the second cuff with our contrast color, the color that you used for your heel and toe. Come back when it's off your loom. Oops. Okay, so I got it off. We have this jumble looking mess. You can kind of stretch your sock. There's our heel, our toe. So now I take our loom, bring the sock back in. Find your first held stitch, the one you marked, hopefully with a different color. Put it back on your first peg. And these might be a mess, but just make sure they're not twisted and you get them in order. It's easy to do, it just take your time. And put each one back on the pegs until you have all of them back on, and then come back. I'm just popping back in here really quick. I don't have mine all the way on yet. To say that once you have all of them on in the correct position, take your stitch markers off and just leave the stitches on the pegs. You won't need the stitch markers anymore. They're just to help you get them back up on the, get the correct round back up on the pegs. So, okay, come back when you're all done putting them on and your stitch markers are removed. Okay, so all of our stitches are back on and stitch markers are taken off, and we're ready to now knit the second cuff. So we have the first one is done. Now we're knitting the second. So take your contrasting yarn and starting at peg 1, just start knitting. Leave a tail for weaving in, as usual. Long tails let you weave it in well enough. You don't need to make a knot, because with negative ease, you're more likely to feel those knots. So just knit around, and I'll use your row counter. This is round 1, and you're going to now knit 20 rounds with this contrasting color. And after the 20 rounds, we're going to bind off again, and our sock is done. Well, after weaving in all the ends. So come back when your 20 rounds are done, and we'll demonstrate the bind off again and go from there. Okay, so I've got my 20 rounds knit for a second cuff. It's time to bind off again, just like we did the first one. Wrap the loom 3 times. 2. There's 1, 2, 3. Cut the yarn. Thread the needle. I'm going to go ahead and just tie a little half knot here. Just to try to keep it on the needle. Alright, it's the same as last time. Go to the second peg. I don't know why I went up front. Go to the second peg. You don't put your yarn over it like that. My brain quit working for a second. And then down through the one previous. I'll zoom in again. Okay, so skip that, go to this. Now go back to the skipped one, come from the top down. Okay, now skip that one, bottom up on the next, back to the skipped, top down, all the way around like before, and I'll come back at the end again. Alright, finishing it up. Can I do that a couple more times? In the same stitches, just like last time. Okay. Trim my yarn tail. And start taking my sock off the loom. Here we go. We have both our socks. Both our socks. Both our cuffs done. And I have both of my socks done. This one's not been blocked like the other, but it's done. Want to weave in the ends, and I'll show how I do the cuffs, seeing as your purl side or the wrong side curls out. I'm going to use my smaller needle and just start. I don't know if we can see this. Just going back and forth under these stitches. Okay. On the next one, I'm just going to go to the inside. start weaving. And cut. So that one's done. You can kind of see it, but it's not gonna stand out like an eyesore or anything. So do it with your other color, and turn your sock inside out, and all of your other ones, weave them in to their own color. So this, you know, your contrast color, weave it into the inside of the contrast parts. The heel will have two, and weave them in good, going, you know, different directions. Make sure it doesn't come out as you wear it. These, you'll untie your bow. You already have the half knot there, so that's good. At the toe, your pink will go into the, my pink will go to the pink, and the cream will go into the cream. So yeah, and after you weave all your ends in, you don't have to block socks. I don't typically, but for recording, it's just it looks nicer, and if you're gifting, it looks nicer. But if they're just for you, you put them on your feet will block them. So I do have sock blockers. I use them mainly just for photographing my socks. But yeah, so I do need to finish weaving in my ends, but it is now, I started filming this at 9 o'clock last night, and it's now 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's officially my birthday, so I'm going to go and eat a birthday cake, or a cupcake that my husband baked for me for my birthday, and celebrate getting done with this. And then I will weave in the rest of the ends and block it, because these are going to my mom. Alright, well, I hope that you were able to make these socks. I hope you enjoyed it. It is easy, it's just a little time consuming. Patience is a must, so hopefully yours wasn't tested too much. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.